Hi, you guys. It is the 24th or 25th, and I am going to get over here to my slideshow for today. So, quick review. The last time that we were together, we talked about the counter argument and conclusion for your graphic organizer for your argument. And we also worked on the Greek tragedies, orange, light purple, and as well as the light blue parts should all be done at this time as we move forward today. So coming up, what is due? Of course, the Greek tragedies document that should be completed and submitted on Schoology. Remember, it's its own document right in the Greek tragedies and drama elements folder. So you should be submitting this document. It's due on the 25th. So that's, of course, Wednesday, Thursday this week of the 24th and 5th. So make sure you get that submitted for notes. That was just for participation in class as we went through the Greek tragedies unit. Any questions on the Greek tragedies document? As you can see, that was something that we've already completed, and that was something for points for class. So make sure you submit it. Now I'm going to go into the writing part as we have completed the Greek tragedies document, and I'm going to talk today about the works cited page. Okay, so you should have your conclusion done, your argument of counter argument, rebuttal, what's somebody going to say against you, and then 2 reasons that you argue against that rebuttal. So 2 counter arguments on your graphic organizer. So I'm going to open up the writing folder and just remind you that I gave you all the graphic organizer on paper, but and it's listed here for 3132. The graphic organizer is on paper, and the works cited is actually going to be on its own piece of paper connected to the graphic organizer. Okay, so you have the graphic organizer on paper, and then you need to make sure that you are connecting a works cited page that tells your 3 sources that you should have in your graphic organizer and where you got your information. So today I'm going to talk about the works cited page. Again, it's a separate page that I want you to staple on to your graphic organizer. So throughout your graphic organizer, you should have 3 places that have quotations, and hopefully the author's last name or the website, if there wasn't an author, or the title of the article listed throughout your graphic organizer. Okay, so after you're done with that, then you're making a works cited page. So for works cited, I did give you an example, and again, it tells where you got your sources. So if you're ever not sure what to do, okay, I have in-text citations by Purdue OWL. That's like a great source. Like, how do I write this stuff inside of my paper? Okay, what does it look like? I also gave you works cited Purdue OWL. And right here, I created a link the other day that will also help you with your works cited. So I'm going to just highlight some of the things on this document. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about in-text citations. Okay, so 3 places within your graphic organizer you had to tell information from somebody else using their thoughts or their words. Okay, so that's called in-text citations by putting that person's name. So let's look at an example. Let's just say this is your paper or parts of your graphic organizer. Tablets are of great concern when it comes to education. According to Gonchar, it is a topic of discussion if tablets are improving education or helping students to learn faster. Can the use of tablets actually be a distraction? And should they be the primary way students learn in class? So again, I gave you this example, but here you have to make sure that you say, the author's name. This is one way to do it. It's not the only way to do this, but according to Gonscher, and then you'd put the page number in parentheses at the end. Now, if there is no page number, put the article title in parentheses, okay? And then the period goes on the outside. Here's another example of in-text citation. Throughout the nation, rent control has had effects similar to those in New York. According to William Tucker, okay, so here you're going to say the author of whose words this is. A writer who has done extensive research on rent control is the primary factor that determines the blah, 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 okay? And on and on and on. Then you put the page number at the end, if there is one. Again, there isn't always one. And the period goes on the outside. Okay, so if no page number, you can put the article title at least in parentheses. And lastly, next we should consider being a vegetarian in our eating habits. In eHow, okay, so it's like an article or a magazine because it's italicized, so then it's either a book or something larger. Small things gets quotes and big things get italicized or underlined, but not both. So in eHow, Lundman states, eating chili can be one of the best sources of various food categories within our body system. And then you tell what was the title of the article in parentheses, because there wasn't a page number for that one, because it was an online source, and the period at the end. So that's called in-text citation. So if you had all of those words so you didn't plagiarize, according to Gonscher, according to William Tucker, in eHow, Lundman states, then you got to make a works cited page. Now, works cited is all by itself. It's a page all by itself. So remember how I talked about Gonscher up here in one of my sources, according to Gonscher? This is where you tell all the information again. The works cited is all by itself on a page, and you need to have 3 of them, okay? So you center the word works cited, and it's with an S because it's more than one. Even if it was one, you still put works cited with a C, centered. Okay, so that needs to be centered. This whole thing should be double spaced. So then you put all the information that went with Gonscher. So you have the author's last name, comma, first name, period. Then in quotes, you put the title of the article. Then the source, the New York Times, it's the newspaper. Okay, that gets italicized because that's a bigger source. Then the date from that newspaper written like that. And then you put the website listed like that and when you accessed it. So pretty much everything you see there as you go through. The second example, again, this is all double spaced and it has to be indented weird like this. Here's the weird thing about indenting. Let me show you. When you go like that, it wants to indent like that. Okay, so what you have to do when it wants to do that is backspace that, go to the end of this line and return, then tab in. Okay, and take away one space because it wants to, I don't know why it does that. Okay, same thing here, tab, then you got to grab that one back. So you only tab in on the second, third, fourth lines, and the top line gets to the far left. So use this as your example as you're making your own. Then you, again, here's the next one, and these have to be alphabetical by the author's last name. These have to be alphabetical by author's last name. You're not going to highlight and underline, but I'm just doing this to make a point. Alphabetical by author's last name. Okay, Lundman, Susan. So remember the other one, here's Lundman, states blah, blah, blah. So then you'd have author's last name, comma, first name, period, space. Then the title of the article, how to make vegetarian chili, inside of quotes with a period there. Then eHow is the bigger source, so that gets italicized. So that's probably the title of the book or the title of something. And then the website looks like that. You have to indent again and tell when you accessed that information. Obviously, don't say, you got to pick a time frame around right now. Okay. So, and then the last source was Tucker. Again, these all had to be alphabetical, double spaced, last name, comma, first name, the title of the article in quotes with the period or question mark on the inside, the title of the magazine or book, italicized, and then when was it from? If it was like a magazine, what's the date and what are the pages with a period? Okay, so this is probably from a book or a magazine with pages that were used. Most of you are probably going to have this type because it's pretty much website articles. Okay, so again, that last one was from Tucker, and that's this whole business in this paragraph here. Okay, all right, so that's Works Cited, and I did give you that for basic rules in the writing folder, so you can use that for an example. But remember, your Works Cited, you can either type it on a document or write it out by hand, but it's double spaced and it's on its own page. It's down here for the basic rules, okay? So you'll have in-text citations inside of your graphic organizer, okay, where other people's words inside of your graphic organizer, they won't be on your Works Cited page like this. Then you're going to write out your Works Cited page by itself or type it out on a document and send it to me. Double spaced, do the indentation like this, Times New Roman or Arial, size 12. Okay, so I have all of that listed there for you. All right, so that is the Works Cited page. Again, I shared Purdue OWL with you, and you can use that to create your sources as well. You want to take time to revise and edit. Make sure that you have all of your graphic organizer complete, your arguments, your opinions, your sources listed, and your Works Cited page. So today, you're going to have time to work on your Works Cited and your in-text citations inside of the graphic organizer. When I stop the video, we're going to do a quizzes and a Quizlet for review of Greek tragedy benchmark 9 items. And then, like I said, you'll have time to work on your Works Cited and in-text citations. Don't forget, the graphic organizer to your writing argument is due March 1st and 2nd. That's next Monday, Tuesday, as well as your Works Cited page to go with that. And your Greek tragedies document is pretty much due now. You can submit that. That's in the Greek tragedies folder. And then your weekly, independent weekly reading doc 7 through 9 is due this Friday, February 26th. So I'm going to stop the video, and then we will have time to do that quizzes and Quizlet, and then you will have time to work on your Works Cited and in-text citations or your conclusion, counter argument, wherever you're at in your writing as you complete it for March 1st and 2nd, next Monday, Tuesday.